Hey everyone, and welcome. So, how do you really measure a nation's direction? You could look at years, decades even. But what if you could get a real sense of it by looking at just a single day? That's what we're going to do. We're taking a snapshot of August 16th, 2025, to see the story a country tells through its economy, its policies, and its science, all in 24 hours.
It's a huge question, right? You might think of these giant 5-year plans or massive historical moments. But what if the answer is actually simpler? Something that happens right in front of us every single day.
Exactly. One day at a time. The future isn't some single far-off event. It's pieced together, bit by the choices and events of each day. Today, we're looking at the pieces that were put on the board on this one day, August 16th. So, first up, let's talk money and jobs, the economic engine. On this particular day, there was a huge push towards creating new opportunities and boosting homegrown innovation.
All right, just look at that number. 1 lakh crore. That is a 1 followed by 12 zeros. It's the kind of figure that can make a serious impact. So you have to ask, what's it all for?
Well, that massive number, we're talking roughly 12 billion US dollars, is the foundation of a brand new scheme announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The whole idea is to directly back people looking for jobs in the private sector and, create this strong support system to get more people into the workforce.
But the support isn't just about big, abstract numbers. It actually gets way more personal. And that brings us to this next figure. So here's the crucial part. This isn't about some vague corporate grant. No. Under what's called the Viksit Bharat Rozgar Yojana, which translates to the Developed India Employment Plan, every single new person who joins the workforce gets a direct payment of 15,000 rupees. It's a real, tangible benefit meant to encourage employment right from the ground up. And, while the government is making these big moves, private industry isn't just sitting on the sidelines. Take a company like Ola. They're not just assembling things, they are deep in the weeds developing their own battery technology. And they're trying to find ways to get around using rare earth magnets. This is huge. It's great for sustainable manufacturing and means being less dependent on imports. Okay, next, let's shift gears and look at the social fabric. How are policy changes on this day really affecting people's everyday lives? Over in Bihar, a major hurdle for a lot of people was just torn down. The state government slashed the fees for government job exams. The first exam is now capped at just 100 rupees, and the main exam fee, poof, it's completely gone for everyone. Think about how many more people can now afford to even try for these careers. That's a real game changer. Meanwhile, in the nation's capital, another big change. A new law was passed to rein in those random, unpredictable fee hikes at private schools. For so many families, this brings a bit more stability and makes their kids' education just that much more affordable. But the day also brought a moment of sadness and reflection. On August 16th, the country learned of the passing of Law Ganesan, the governor of Nagaland. He was 80 years old. The Prime Minister offered this tribute to his legacy, and it really captures a lifetime of public service in one powerful sentence. It's a somber reminder of the individuals who dedicate their lives to shaping the nation's journey. All right, on to Section 3, Scientific Ambition. And on this day, wow, the nation's focus stretched literally from the bottom of our oceans all the way out to the distant stars. So, first, a brand new national mission was announced for deep-sea exploration. This is a massive push into one of the last truly unknown frontiers right here on Earth, with the goal of unlocking the secrets hidden in our own oceans. And then, on the very same day, you get this amazing contrast that just shows the sheer scale of ambition. As we're planning to go deeper into our own world, scientists announced the discovery of a potentially habitable planet orbiting the closest star that's like our own sun. The search for another Earth is on. It's incredible. And finally, let's zoom out and look at the world stage. Because, let's face it, a nation's story is always shaped by the global currents it has to navigate, day in and day out. A pretty significant geopolitical event was happening, a high-stakes summit up in Alaska.
For a country like India, which has to manage complex relationships with both Russia and the US, this was definitely something to keep a close eye on.
And coming out of that summit was this very direct comment from President Putin. Now, that's a statement with huge implications for global politics, and it instantly became an international headline. It's exactly the kind of thing that a country's foreign policy has to constantly react and adapt to.
And somewhere else in the world, a reminder that some things are just unpredictable. A 5.4 magnitude earthquake was recorded off the coast of Australia. It's all part of that constant stream of global events that forms the backdrop to everything else.
So let's pull it all together for a second. In just one day, what did we see? We saw new economic lifelines for individuals, policy reforms putting citizens first, scientific ambition reaching for the deepest trenches and the farthest stars, and all while carefully navigating a very complicated world.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. Each of these events, it's a building block, a single day filled with progress, with challenges, and with discovery. It really makes you wonder, if this is what can happen just in 24 hours, what kind of epic story is this nation writing for itself over an entire year? Thanks for joining me.